Hey, church family and other missionaries out there. This is Trevor Owen with another Mission Minute devotional thought for you. And well, today I want to talk about how we as the church handle, tough topics like masks or vaccines or whatever the other myriad of things that come up are. I mean, this is obviously really prominent right now, and there's been churches that are, really pro-mask or really against masks, and there's this tension and this difficulty, and even within a group of people like this church, there's different opinions and ideas. And I hear a lot of conversation about why we should or shouldn't have them or wear them or the dangers of it or our rights and so on and so forth. What I don't hear a whole lot is, what Paul and Jesus said. Controversies and difficulties over tough topics is nothing new. In fact, Paul is writing to Corinth, the church in Corinth, in 1 Corinthians, and he devotes 3 chapters to a pretty major issue at work in the church there. And that was food sacrificed to idols. I don't need to go into all the details of it, but basically there were these pagan temples, and when people would come and sacrifice the animal, they would have the leftover meat. And so they would butcher the meat, and they would sell it a little cheaper than in the marketplace, and they would use that money to maintain the temple and pay for priests and so on and so forth. And there was a big debate in Christianity at the time about whether or not it was okay for Christians to eat that meat. I mean, it had been sacrificed to a pagan god, and the money went to kind of help support a pagan temple. So was it morally okay or to buy that or not? And it was a huge debate. And ultimately, Paul comes down and says it doesn't really matter from God's perspective. What matters is, can we eat it with a clean conscience or not? And do we care about our brothers and sisters who might also have a struggle with that? He goes on to say, if people see me eating meat that's been sacrificed to an idol and it bothers their conscience or causes them to fall, then I'm sinning, even if I'm in the right. And I think as Christians, we need to keep this perspective in mind. I mean, we have a ton of debate and discussion about our rights and whether we should or shouldn't, and what I want to do and what I don't want to do, and what other people should do to accommodate me, and all that. But I really think we need to flip the script on that. Can I challenge you? In the whole debate with masks and vaccine and social distance and space and everything else that's going to come up, is our conversation about our rights what we want? Or is our conversation about how we can love others? You see, Paul starts this whole section off by saying, now about food sacrificed to idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. And so in all of our conversations or investigating or ideas or opinions, do we let our knowledge puff us up, belittle others, look down on them? Or do we focus on love and building each other up? And Paul says that is so important that he would even go so far as to, at the end of chapter 8, say, if food causes my brother or sister to fall, I will never again eat meat, so that I won't cause my brother or sister to fall. Now that's a bigger sacrifice for some than others. But Paul goes so far as to say, not only will I not eat temple meat, I won't eat any meat. Loving my brother and sister has to be the highest priority. And so in the midst of all this debate and this discussion, what I want to know is, where's your heart for your brother and sister? Are we known as people who will go out of our way to love above everything else? Wherever you're at, stay on mission. God bless, and I'll see you around.